Storytelling. Celebration of San Jordi is celebrated on April 23, day on which the knight Jordi died in 33. The saint, who remained under the orders of the Emperor Diocletian, refused to follow the orders to persecute the Christians, so he was martyred and beheaded. Very soon they began to venerate him as a martyr, and immediately appeared the fantastic stories related to his figure. The Catalan version of the legend of San Jordi says that after a fierce battle between the knight and the dragon, the beast fell pierced by the sword, and that from the drops of blood there reached a grand rose was born that bloomed with profusion every April. How was celebrated normally? It is one of the most original celebrations in Catalonia and takes place in spring, on April 23. It is a festival with a marked popular character, which combines culture and romanticism, combining the celebration of Book Day and Valentine's Day. On that day, the custom is for couples to exchange gifts, men receive a book and women a rose. But the celebration is not only for couples, family and friends also give things away. In the Rambles, Barcelona, many stalls are set up and you can walk around and buy a book or a rose for your partner. Not only roses and books are sold, there is also food and fluffy toys with the theme of San Jordi. During this day, Barcelona becomes a huge open-air bookstore and flower shop. Throughout the city, you will find stalls with the latest editorial news, famous authors, signing copies, and of course, you will smell the scent of roses. In this course of your work, you can take part in workshops or sign up for literary readings.
How was celebrated with COVID-19? Last year, this local celebration was obviously cancelled. This year, though COVID is still a threat, which has not prevented the people of our city from celebrating it. It has been held with security measures such as testing and masks. According to data, this year they have sold 75% more than in 2019. Strange if we talk about that people should not go out. This year, instead of starting fairly for the stands, you had to form a queue to enter the closure. We have taken some photos that we showed them in which it looks like all the people who have wanted to celebrate San Jordi, in this case of Passeig de Gracia in Barcelona. We can see that they all wear a mask and take turns in rows where they have to be disinfected before moving. We also see how the Casa Batlló has been decorated for this holiday with the large rose characteristic of this date on its entire facade. This year it was expected to see very few people compared to the other years, which has been the opposite, as I have pointed out before. This year there have been 75% more sales in the positions and people in a controlled. La Mercè. Storytelling. La Mercè is the patron saint of Barcelona. The legend tells that on the one night of September 24 in 1218, the Virgin appeared in simultaneously to King James I, Saint Pedro Nolasco, and Saint Ramon de Peñafort. He asked all three of them to create an order of monks dedicated to saving Christians imprisoned by the Saracens. They were times of religious warfare. Centuries later, in 1687, Barcelona suffered a plague of locusts and was placed in the hands of the Virgin de la Mercè. Once the plague was over, the city council named her patron saint of Barcelona, but the Pope did not ratify the decision until 2 centuries later, in 1868. After Papa Pio IX declared the Virgin de la Mercè the patron saint of the city, Barcelona began to celebrate its feasts in September. La Mercè started to celebrate it in 1902, when under the impulse of Francis Cambo, a greater festival was held that became a model of those that still take place throughout Catalonia today. In any case, the story of La Mercè will suffer many ups and downs that extended after the Civil War and the Franco years.
How was celebrated normally? With the arrival of democracy, La Merced reaches the character of a genuinely popular festival thanks to the collaboration of an entire entities from all over the city. Today, La Merced is a festival that festively occupies a large number of public space with a program focuses on the Mediterranean culture. In the less than week, Barcelona reached ring together of a huge program that will force to you to choose street art, parades, concerts, traditional dances, etc. During La Merced celebration are a lot of activities. The most significant are processions of giants, a parade followed by children and adults, and also another typical celebrations are acrobatics. There are fire spectacular. We are where demons and dragons split out fire from their mouths, without forgetting, of course, the extraordinary exhibition of castellers, human castles, and the popular dance La Sardana. How was celebrated with COVID-19? An autonomous mercy with the smallest and most decentralized oppositeness in his history to avoid the virus. This is how the main festival of Barcelona has been reinvented, which this 2020 may not be the same as always, full of people in the streets and squares, but it did maintain of actual program with 150 groups that offers some 300 shows with limited capacity. The largest admitted at most 800 people to ensure safety distance are met. The entrance free required prior reservation via web or mobile applications. Last year, La Merced had about 370 activities and had 66% of his total capacities. Only 3 events have been permanently cancelled due COVID infections. He has claimed that in all acts the measures to prevent contagions have been respected, with shows that the culture is safe. We have done everything possible so that the present and previous we were two slogans that include the mountain.